Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your February career and money reading. So let's see what overall energies you have this month in the area of career and finances. Gates of triumph, success expands in your life. Oh, this is a lovely energy. So it means that you already are finding some success in your career, whether you own your own business or you work for a company, that you already have some success and that it's just going to keep expanding. Very nice energy. And passion and pleasure, savor your life. So to me, this really talks about finding balance in your life, right? You're being successful in your career area, but make sure that you're also spending time enjoying yourself, enjoying your life. Savor your life. That's you may be working too much, and you need to spend a little bit more time playing. I just realized this is kind of like gypsies, right? Just kind of like, maybe you need to try to do a little traveling, playing music, dancing. Some of those activities can help bring out your creative nature even more. Very nice. Okay, so in the present, your energy is building blocks. So I think that is a lovely energy. I think you have built, if you own your own business, you've built a strong foundation in your business. And if you work for somebody else, you've definitely built, a good reputation at your place of business. You're well-rounded. You're responsible. You get the job done. Very nice. Your obstacle this month is imperfect harmony. So this, can talk about that you're not maybe in perfect harmony with your soul's purpose or with what spirit may be trying to guide you through. And it can also talk about you may not feel like you're part of the symphony, especially, if you work with other people, you may feel like at times that your ideas are not part of this, the concert, the symphony that's being played. You may feel a little left out. So your advice is authority. Okay, so that's kind of taking charge. This is the Emperor, like standing in your power. If you're feeling like your ideas are not being heard or your purpose in what you do is not playing out. And I think it's kind of interesting because we have music being played here and music being played here. And music to me is, creative. So if you feel like your creative ideas or suggestions, especially creative, are not being heard, then it may be time for you to stand up for yourself and to be a little bit more assertive with what you'd like, to do. And that may bring in more triumph, more success in your career. Very nice. The outcome is journey. Wow. And it's kind of interesting because, they're on a journey, right? I mean, they're definitely camping, moving, caravanning and journey. And by, you have the good building blocks. I think this is telling you have a good foundation. You may have been doing the kind of work that you're doing for a while. Like you have the experience, you really do have the experience and the knowledge. And you may be putting some ideas out there, but they're not being heard. I think this is a tuba. The tuba is playing and there's music coming out. It's kind of like you're playing, you're letting your music come out, but is anybody listening to it? Because I think you want your ideas heard. I think it's something about standing up. If you're not in your own business, you may be thinking about starting your own business. Like, hey, I have all this experience and knowledge. I think I'm ready to maybe go out on my own, start my own journey. It's definitely part of your journey. Like making it a little bit of a shift. You know, she has her bags packed. These two cards just really definitely are talking about moving, maybe changing careers, changing jobs, moving to a new city. Maybe you're thinking of moving to a new city. Okay, so let's look at the tarot and get some more information. Two of Fire. So this is planning and strategy. You know, you're inspired to do something and you feel like you have the building blocks, the knowledge, the experience to maybe go out and do something. You're strategizing. Very nice. Your obstacle is High Priestess, which means that you're really not, you know, and this is in perfect harmony, working with spirit. You're not listening to your intuition, to your guides, to your soul's purpose. Part of this may be that you need to make some change in your career that is more aligned to your soul purpose. And then over here you have King of Earth. So this is someone that is authoritative, right? Very inspired. Is also a leader. And this is in your advice. So I think it's talking about taking more of an inspired type of leadership role. Maybe if you enjoy like where you do work, you may be thinking that you want a promotion, that you want to, you know, be more in a leadership role. For some of you, this is very, you know, creative. You may be thinking that you want to do something that's more on your soul's purpose, maybe a creative endeavor. If you have like a more of a office job, you may be wanting to do something more creative. And Hermit. So you're kind of like going on this journey, and the Hermit is, you know, kind of like going within, kind of learning more about yourself, more of a solitude. And she's on this bridge by herself, you know, like going on a new journey by yourself, trying to find yourself, trying to figure things out, looking at things from a more spiritual way of thinking. Very nice. I think whatever it is, it's going to bring you success, though, because you have the gates of triumph. And, you know, I think it's going to bring you more pleasure to your work, bring you more passion. You know, you have the, no, you don't. But you have the King of Wands. You have the King of Earth. I think I said that this was the King of Wands. This is the King of Earth. This is kind of like, you know, the energy of looking over the manner or the, you know, the work and delegating. And it's so interesting because I was saying the King of Wands, which is creativity. So this is definitely like taking more charge in your career. You're definitely trying to become more of a leader in your career. But, you know, I don't think that I said King of Wands by mistake. There is never a mistake in these readings. So I do think it has something to do with creatively leading. Creatively leading. Interesting. Okay, over here we have Two of Cups. Now, this is a career and money reading. So Two of Cups is really about partnering with somebody else that is usually like-minded, that, you know, you may be deciding on, partnering with somebody else and kind of like strategizing to go out on your own, start your own business, change jobs, change careers. This also can be about somebody, really appreciating your work. But this is usually kind of like a partnership. It can be also an offer from somebody to go partner up. Very nice. I think you do. It seems like you may have a change in your career. So here, wow. Okay, yes. So this is your obstacle. I really feel like you're not being heard and you're also not listening. You've had some kind of call to your soul. This is the judgment call. This is the high priestess. Like, you're not hearing it because it's your obstacle. You're not hearing your intuition and this call from spirit to go do something that may be more creative or more on your soul's path. And I think it's kind of interesting because you have this journey card here, right? And then, they're traveling. Like, you're not hearing the call to go answer your soul's purpose. And here you have 6 of Cups. Wow. So, looking back, I think this is so interesting because both of these are very stern, right? Authoritative. Take charge kind of people. He has his arms crossed, and gender doesn't matter. It's the energy, but he has his arms crossed. Like, it's kind of like my way or the highway. And the King of Pentacles is usually generous and takes care of, his employees or, the other people that work for him or her. Because once again, gender doesn't matter. But just delegates the work. Like, he doesn't do any work. He delegates the work. And then you have the 6 of Cups. And 6 of Cups is like nostalgia, looking back lovingly. You may be looking back lovingly. And it can sometimes also be about like looking back with a little bit of a regret. So this is your advice. Like, I'm like taking more charge of your career, of your ideas at work, but also looking back lovingly at something that you did in the past that's going to help you step into this energy. So you could have had, a boss in the past that was very kind of in this energy and you were really inspired by that person. Kind of adding the love, like looking back at lessons that you've learned in the past or people that you have worked with in the past and trying to emulate them as you go into this transition. Very nice. Okay, and then finally you have 5 of Pentacles. So this is feeling, kind of like out on your own, abandoned. And you have the Solitude card here and the Journey card. So the thing that you have to remember about 5 of Pentacles, you might feel like you're left out of something. You may decide to go out on your own and then you're feeling kind of isolated. The thing that you have to remember is that, with this card, I especially like it in this tarot deck, is because, she's sitting there. She's sitting out like outside. It's usually outside of a church, but she's sitting outside the door. She could ask for help. She can knock on the door and ask for help. But she chooses to kind of sit there. And I always think with the 5 of Pentacles that you have to realize when you're feeling this way that you are still capable of doing something. It's kind of like having a pity party for yourself. Like, I feel like you're going to go on this journey and you're going to feel kind of isolated maybe. And you may feel like having a pity party. The other thing is that doesn't resonate. I just got this message that you may go on this journey and, with the Hermit card, you may have, you go on this journey to find part of your soul's purpose, and someone that you're working with, because over here you have this Two of Cups, someone that you're working with feels out in the cold. That could resonate with some of you, especially if you're kind of already working with someone. Then when you go on this journey by yourself to look at your soul and to follow your own passion, follow your heart, follow your bliss, you're going to make someone else feel like they're out in the cold. So let's look at the Creativity Oracle to see what we have here. Because, I'm going to point out that she looks happy. She's on this journey by herself. These people look happy. They're on this journey. Now, they're together, right? But I think that, this person, somebody's going to feel left out. You may be offering for someone to partner with you. And they say no. And you say, okay, I'm still going. You go anyway. And you're kind of like looking back. I wish they had come with me. Because the journey is so fun. I'm having so much fun on my journey, right? And they're staying at home and they're feeling left out. I have a feeling that you're going to feel fine on the journey. I think it's somebody else that's not. Because you have the Gates of Triumph and you have passion and pleasure. I think you're leaving somebody else behind that chooses not to go because, here's the Five of Wands. They say no. They choose not to go and you go anyway and you're happy, but they're sad. They're like maybe you go and make a lot of money. You say, hey, I'm going to go in this new direction and you make a lot of money. And then they're kind of like, what? I should have gone with you. Okay. All right, Scorpio, let's see what we have. This is the Creativity Oracle. I love these cards. Trust. Trust that you were born a creative being and have never stopped being one. I kind of feel like, you have such stern energy here that you may, your creativity may have been kind of, pushed down by people that you work with. Maybe even, this partner, and you're kind of like, oh, my heart is singing. I need to, go and be more creative. And you may just feel like I'm not creative anymore because, it's just not been allowed. Okay, here we have new start. Sometimes we must realize that what we have done needs to be discarded and we must make a new start. So, that's kind of in your obstacle. It's kind of like letting you know that sometimes you do just need to have a new start. And you definitely seem to be going on a new start, a new journey. Okay, and I think it is to follow your soul's purpose, to follow your bliss. Originality, feel lighthearted and free while trusting that your unique way of doing things is the right way. I really think that goes back to these two, like standing up for yourself, saying, I know I want to do this. I know I want to do it this way. And yet this is kind of like lighthearted, looking back at the past. But trust that the way, trust in your unique way of doing things. It's the right way. You're right. Accomplishment. Remember past accomplishments as a way to overcome present self-doubt. And, I kind of feel like that speaks to the Six of Cups. Like looking back at things that you have accomplished in the past, when you're feeling doubtful. Like you're not sure. Is this really what I should go do? Should I go do this solo thing? You know, over here you had the Two of Cups and now all of a sudden you're on the journey by yourself. Should I do that? And even if this is you and you're feeling doubtful at times, look back to what you have accomplished. You know, I love to do that. I keep a list and I try to add something to it every day. Like a list of even little accomplishments that I've made, you know, during the day. And it doesn't have to be big, but by just listing the little accomplishments that you make along the way, my goodness, like you look back and then it helps to build your self-confidence. It helps to build like, you know, your strength, your courage to do new things, because you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, look at what I have accomplished, right? Because so often we sit there and we think about all the things that we haven't been able to do. Well, even when you haven't been able to accomplish a goal, you've made, you know, progress along the way, and keep track of that because it'll help you to overcome your self-doubt. Okay, so this is a final message from the universe. And Scorpio, if you've enjoyed this reading, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video and maybe even subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you and all of your support. So your message is things are not as they appear. Very interesting. I think that's very interesting for this reading. You may not totally, you know, especially if you have a partner or, you know, someone that you're thinking about going into this new business or project with, switching gears with, you know, you may not understand the way it is. The lower the price of your love, the higher its value. Brain freeze. The universe. So I do think that it is talking about, once again, love within career means appreciation, gratitude, right? So the more appreciation and gratitude you give to everybody that you work with, or your clients, or, your vendors, whoever you're working with, the more love, appreciation, gratitude that you can give them, the higher, the value of that. The more that you will get success and expand in everything that you do. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting reading. I'd love to know, please put in the comments below, what is it that you're thinking about going and doing? How are you resonating to this message? Well, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it at that. I do wish you lots of love and light in this situation and all of your situations. Bye for now.